Ah, we are live to the Gold Nugget session number 300K edition. So what that means, guys, what the 100K edition means. Oh, what's up, guys? Piling in. Yo, yo, yo. 130K, yes. But anyways, yeah, I just wanted to explain what this is going to be about. It's not going to be a very long live stream, but I wanted to take you step by step with how I took my store to 100K a month. And obviously, this is going to be a conceptual overview, but I will be dropping the recording for this into my YouTube channel. So make sure that you do reference that in the future if you missed something, maybe one of the things that I said. But yeah, so I'll just be exactly talking about how I got the store to 100K and step by step, like I said. Let me just see. Are you moving out with my girlfriend? Yes, I am moving out with my girlfriend. Not yet. We're looking for apartments in the metro area, but we'll see. We'll see. I mean, we're moving out for sure. We just don't know where. And I do want it to be a really cool place. So I'm kind of waiting on it. Yo, shout out from Uptown Minneapolis. Nice, man, for sure. Shout out Minneapolis. Budget to start on a winning ad set. Personally, me and my partner, I'm going to start kind of talking about my partner more and more so that you guys just kind of to push him to, show his face on camera. He's really good. I don't know. He's not like shy. I don't know. He's a weird guy. But anyways, we start all of our ad sets at $5 a day. Now, when I first moved my winning product from Instagram to Facebook in like early February, we did start our ad sets at $10 a day. But now when we test products, we don't even mess with Instagram influencers. We just go straight into Facebook ads, and we start each ad set at $5 a day. Okay. Got my pen and paper out. Nice. Okay, I guess I'll just start talking about this real quick then. Can you run Facebook ads with zero data on my Pixel? Yeah, 100%, man. Do you mentor people? I do coaching calls. I don't really mentor people, but right now I'm putting the coaching calls on hold because I really, really need to work this month, guys. I'm going to go off on my dropshipping store because I'm going to an event in late April. So by the time I go to the event, I want to make sure we're pretty much at like 200,000 a month by then. So the only way to do that is for me and my partner to just work hard AF every single day. I'm starting to get into Google ads. I'm setting up better flows for my email marketing because we already have we're already driving so much traffic. We just need to make the most out of it now. Anyways, changed office positions. I guess you could say that. Pretty much. How many ad sets at $5 a day? So for example, we just launched a product last night and we have every ad set at $5 a day. We've already we've spent roughly 170 on ads so far, and we've had a $250 return. So we're definitely even, maybe even a little bit negative, but that's actually a very, very good sign at the beginning because what we're doing is we're testing literally 25 plus ad sets. Actually right now, he's going a little too crazy with it, but whatever. I'll just let him do his thing. But he actually has 70 ad sets now on that product, and we're just testing it. So definitely a little crazy, but we'll see how it does. I'll update you guys exactly on how that product does. We'll see if it turns out to be a winner. I guess we're being a little bit more aggressive, but we do have every ad set at $5 a day. So a little bit of a weird strategy, but it does work for us. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm so bad at catching up with the questions. How are the bad days when your ad sets tank? So they are pretty bad, but it's never been too crazy so far. We have had days where we actually do just break even though, but typically we are always in the green as long as we're scaling correctly, like scaling gradually. We don't go too aggressive that's why when I show my charts, you'll see that it's actually like a gradual increase. It is more exponential nowadays than before, mainly because, as you do more volume, I guess you could scale more and more. But typically, we haven't seen any crazy like ad sets that just tanked out of the nowhere. I guess if everything is right on your store and everything looks correctly and we do have a really high conversion rate, that shouldn't be an issue. A lot of people out right now, though, are very scared of like the current state of like Facebook ads. In pretty much every single one of my Facebook groups that I'm a part of, there's people that are just pretty much saying they're going to quit, that, you know, they haven't been able to have success lately. And, you know, that kind of sucks. And I feel like maybe they just never had success before in the first place, because, you know, here I am having like the best month of my life pretty much. And while everyone else is freaking out about how their ad sets are not working. And I'm just like, well, I guess I can't really relate to that because I'm making it work even through all this. Like, we're still making it work. How do you scale once you're 100% that you have found a winner? Literally by duplicating. That's all I do for scaling, at least at first. Like, there's stages to scaling. The first stage I would say is duplicating. So you duplicate all your ad sets. And I'm just being fully transparent. This is my strategy, but we duplicate every winning ad set 3 times. So that's why pretty much by like the 3rd week in a product, we'll already have like 200 or 300 assets if it's a winner. And I know that sounds crazy, but it's just the way we do it. And then once we have enough data, we start implementing some lookalike audiences for every conversion event, whether it be views, add to cart, video views, and purchases, of course. But we typically start with views because that's the one that you get the most of, and then, you know, progressively move into the other ones. I also do, which is, I guess, kind of frowned upon, I would say. Not frowned upon, but not many people do this, I guess. Or at least I haven't seen it done in many of the courses that I follow. But we actually make lookalike audiences also for all the winning countries. So we include all of the countries into one lookalike audience, which I know this sounds a little bit advanced, but like I said, I am going to drop this recording into my YouTube channel. So you can just reference this in the future if you want. Like, I don't know. But that's kind of what we do. And then after the lookalike audience, we also introduce retargeting audiences, because retargeting audiences are very, very powerful. I actually see like my lowest cost per purchase from my retargeting audiences, but I don't include them right away just because, I don't know, I guess we just kind of focus on finding those like winning ad sets first. But, oh God, I'm really behind on questions. What do you classify? Okay. What do you classify as a winning ad set? How many unique links, purchases? So a winning ad set, all you need to look at is purchases. That's all I base my decisions off of is purchases. If I'm seeing a low cost per purchase, and by low cost per purchase, obviously it has to be relative to your profit per product. So if your profit per order is $20, a low cost per purchase is going to be anything below like $12, I would say. So if my profit per product is $20 and I'm spending, you know, $12 to get a customer, and you know, that's pretty good. That's, you know, you're still getting an $8 profit after ad spend. So if you see, that's a profitable ad. So that's what I would consider a winning ad set. And I guess at a $5 budget within a week's period. So within the time that it spends that $20, so 4 days, I guess, if it has like 3 purchases or more, you know, that's going to be a very low cost per purchase of like $7 or $6, whatever. Actually, that'd be like $5. That's a really good ad set. I would duplicate that 3 times. And yeah, that's pretty much how we do it. Do we target worldwide with $5 budget testing? Yes, we do target worldwide. We also do audience insights targeting. So, you know, if you go on audience insights, you uncheck the US because it'll be preset to only look for this interest in the US. I'll look up an interest in the interest box of audience insights, and then I will go to top countries, and then the top countries are the ones that I choose. And typically I also include the big 5, which is US, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, UK. But I know a lot of people don't like to do that. I know a lot of people actually like to do separate countries for everything, and that's totally fine. Do whatever you want to do whatever you want to test. This is just what's working for us. Yeah, I don't ever really target single countries at the beginning. I always target single countries though later on in my scaling phase, when I break down my ad sets and look at the winning metrics and duplicate them according to the winning metrics. I know this is probably like the most technical, advanced live stream I think I've ever done and like talked about, but you guys are just asking those good, juicy questions. So I guess if you're Maybe in the future, this will be just like really valuable. How do you find winning products? Okay, that's a good question. How do I find winning products? And I don't want to stir up any controversies here, but I do use Dropship Spy straight up. The main reason is because, I mean, since I have these winners right now, I'm a little bit lazy with my product research. I'm kind of just riding those out for as long as I can. And honestly, I think I found my winners at a really good season because, summer's starting and I don't know. There's just so many marketing angles I could take on that. And I think they're going to be winners for a very, very long time. In fact, I think I'm going to start a white label brand around one of my winners right now. But anyways, that's for another video. How I found winning products, like I said, is Dropship Spy. I mean, it is a bit saturated. Obviously, more and more people know about these products. Everybody's probably testing at least one of the products there. So every product on Dropship Spy is probably being tested right now. But, we're really good at putting together like a solid product description and finding those special pictures and making those videos that are just awesome. So that's what's giving us a really competitive advantage over pretty much everyone else that uses Dropship Spy. So we're able to pretty much beat everyone that tries those products. And it sucks to say it, but that's just the way it is. We're more experienced. We've done this for a long time. So we kind of know what to look for, and not just what to look for. I mean, we literally just look for things that are within a niche that we want to dive into, I guess. But besides that, I just look for things that, solve a problem, that have it doesn't have to solve a problem, but it at least has to have a wow factor, something that's just dang, that's pretty cool, And those are typically the ones that are going to be winners. Also, we've mainly only tested products nowadays that have worked before in the past, which is where Dropship Spy comes in really handy because it shows you products that have worked in the past. And there's a bunch of other software that do the same thing. Pexta does, Ecom Hunt, and I know Sean Prentice just released Dropship Genesis, which I heard is actually really good, but I haven't tested it myself. And all these things are going to do the same thing. I mean, I'm not the biggest advocate of softwares by any means. Obviously, if we're all testing out the same products, I guess you could say there's more saturation, but there's always going to be those people that are just going to be beating everybody, like myself. I'm not trying to sound cocky, but I'm definitely beating pretty much anyone else who's testing those products because it's typically people who are beginners, and I'm no longer a beginner. So that's why I'm able to just kind of take products from Dropship Spy and just test them and typically find success with them. But they're not all winners, obviously. Not for me, at least. Every store is different, though. So that's kind of what I do right now. It's literally just go on Dropship Spy. And then obviously it's when I always follow, this is the thing. If you're using Dropship Spy, you have to use it correctly. So the biggest thing is you have to follow the site that, the product was first found on. So because it typically leads you to a big dropshipping site, a successful dropshipping site. And when you're in those sites, you start getting retargeted by their winning products, and they're pretty much paying Facebook to show you their winning products at that point. So it's one of the biggest tips I guess I could give you. Congrats on 3K subs. Thank you so much, man. I really, really appreciate that. I really appreciate, honestly, you guys are amazing. I think I have one of the most positive, supportive, followings of all time, honestly. I hardly ever get any hate. You guys are just amazing. If a product has 70K orders on AliExpress, is it saturated? 70,000 orders on AliExpress. That is insane. Honestly, just don't worry too much about whether a product might be saturated or not. Use your, if you think this product could sell, try it. Just test it out. And, obviously try really hard to sell it though. Don't just put it in your store and try to see if something sticks, be logical about it. Make it make sense. Make your description really solid, super, pretty much just making the customer have to buy your product, Okay, let's see. No dislike gang. Hey, I'm in the rave niche. I could use some mentoring. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't do mentoring, guys. I'm very sorry about that. I know a lot of you ask, and mentorship is amazing. I do encourage you to go out there and look for mentorship, but I'm sorry, I just don't have the time for that. Because like I said, I'm trying to build my businesses. I have this event at the end of the month, so I want to make everything as solid as possible. Do you file for annual report for your business? I think you're referring about, for taxes. And yes, I think I am I'm not gonna do quarterly. But like I said, I haven't looked too far into it because the success of my store has been pretty much just this year alone. And yeah, I'm just going to wait on it a little longer, just do my own little research, and then eventually hire like a CPA to really help me nail down everything that I need to do. What do you do if your ad set is just breaking even? You just have to let it run. Another thing you could do if your ad set is breaking even is pretty much just duplicate it and just use the winning metrics. But typically that doesn't always help it. What I would do is just maybe duplicate it like a couple times and see if the first one, lower, if the cost per purchase on the original ever goes down. If it only goes up, then you will eventually have to cut it. But if you have those duplicates, then you have a chance of finding success again within that ad set. And the thing about doing duplicates is what we've been doing is doing duplicates like 3 times, because what will happen typically is, well, for us at least this is just a theory that we have. Honestly, I don't know if there's no like technical reason why this happens, but it feels like sometimes you make an ad set and it just doesn't do that well. But then if you make it again, maybe that one just finds the customer. It's like, I don't know why the algorithm does this. I don't know if it actually does do this, but it seems like it for us. So what we do is duplicate everything 3 times, because what we'll see is that one of the ad sets will do super bad. Like it'll do awful. But then the other 2, or one of the other 2, will just do amazing. So like, that's what I try to do. But, try it out. If it doesn't work out for you, then maybe follow a different strategy. I don't know, but that's what we're doing. Do you own your own videos? Are you a creative guy, or you outsource this part? Arie, we make our own videos. I'm actually pretty creative, and so is my partner. Goes to school for like graphic design, so he's not like the best. Like we use Animoto to create videos because it's so easy on there. But we do kind of think about trying to highlight the main features of the product in the videos. That's just kind of what's important. Okay. I'm sorry, guys. I'm going to put the questions on hold because that's not what this video is going to be about. I do want to answer every single one of your questions, but it feels like it's taking a lot of the time of the live stream. And the purpose of this was to tell you exactly how I got from 0 to 130K a month with my new store. And this is exactly what happened. Okay. So I guess I'll tell you a little bit of background. What happened was we had our main store. We're doing decent numbers, but I wanted to move into something more general, something that like I just wanted to test it. Like we were pretty niche down, I guess, like not too niche down. It was still kind of general, but I wanted to go into like a different general niche store. So we built a new store so that we have now 2 incomes, and this new store, we started it off with Instagram influencers only. Okay. That's it. And the main reason is because I had never really tested Instagram influencers before that. And I'd been seeing a lot of videos about it. And I decided, you know what, like, let me just test it out, right? Because that's kind of my mentality with everything. I just want to test everything out. And I decided to test it out. And literally my first Instagram influencer post, but like was profitable. Keep in mind though, this wasn't my first like ever month on Shopify or anything like some people will say. This was literally like a year and a half after starting, okay? This was just like the first time that I had really tested Instagram influencers. And I was profitable on the first post. I made a video about the product. I didn't post a picture. It was a video. And then after I did that, I just kept finding new influencers, kept being profitable. And I was actually profitable the whole first month because of that like product that I found and because of the video that I had made and the influencers that I had found. And after that first month, my partner kind of joined in on this new store again, even though we were starting it together, but he was mainly focused on the other main store at the time still, which actually worked out perfectly because that way we were able to kind of set the main store up for success, like forever, I guess. And then I was pretty at the same time putting in work on the new store to kind of get it set up so that when he would be ready to start testing products on it, it would be fully ready. And that's essentially what happened. So then he joined me. He started testing some products. So then we were doing, double the productivity, double the product tests. And we found pretty much 2 products that were profitable almost every time on Instagram. Not every time though, because this is the thing. You run out of Instagram influencers. I mean, there's not an infinite amount of influencers and not everyone's accessible all the time. It sucks. It's annoying. And this is why I don't like influencers too much. But it is a great starting point because it's easy to be profitable with them, especially if you have like a video and a solid product page and all those conversion points that I always talk about. But so after that, we kind of put a pause on the Instagram influencers. We were still using them a little bit, but we decided to fully move on to Facebook. And how we moved into Facebook is actually kind of curious. You could say it's a little surprising because what people will say is, and I've said this in the past too, is to start on Instagram influencers and then create lookalike audiences on Facebook once you have enough data. But this is not at all what we did. Okay. What we did is literally we just took the products, put them on Facebook, put $10 budgets per ad set on like 20 ad sets each. Actually, I think we did like 15 because at the time we were not testing as many ad sets right away as we do now. We've kind of refined our strategy, but this is just kind of the starting point. And keep in mind, this was in early February. So like 2 months ago, which it sounds like it was so far away, but actually 2 months is like nothing. So just think about how much progress we've made in such a quick amount of time. It's actually insane. But okay, so where was I? Okay, so we finally moved on to Facebook. We had our 2 products that were doing really good on Instagram, and we were pretty much doing $150 a day on both of the products, and they were both getting sales. Like on the first day, I got like 3 sales on one, like 7 sales on another one, and essentially that's just kind of how I kept going for like a week. But we were not profitable. Okay, we were definitely not profitable on Facebook, and I was just like, man, like, we need to do something. I don't know, like one of these products, I thought it was going to be a winner. It was a winner on Instagram, but it was definitely not a winner on Facebook. Okay, like when I put it on Facebook, I was getting sales, but I was never able to be profitable. And honestly, it's okay to not be profitable for the first like 2 weeks. But after that, if you're still not profitable, like it's really going to be tough to kind of just, have your whole campaign optimized to actually be profitable. So eventually I did have to cut that product, and I was so sad to cut it, to really let it go, because that was the first winner from this new store that I found for Instagram. So I was just so attached to it. Like, I guess, I don't know. That's just what happened. So I had to cut it finally, and I did lose a lot of money on it. But by the time I cut it, like the other product that we tested was a clear winner. And this is the thing, guys. Keep in mind, everybody I did have, Richard Louie, you guys probably know him. He was mentoring us through the process with some Facebook ads, like techniques, like what we should do, some scaling stuff. And, a lot of the times he'd be like, yo, this product is not, like, this is too low price. Like, this is not going to work. And this is pretty much what everybody said. And that's pretty much still our biggest winner. So just keep that in mind, guys. You just really have to test everything. Obviously, higher profits are better. It's easier to be profitable. But I would recommend, if you're just starting out, try low price products too. They're going to be easier to sell for sure. And like when you're just beginning, obviously you just want to see those sales. You don't even really care about being profitable too much. And you shouldn't, because you're not going to be profitable right away unless you do like Instagram influencer ads. But even then, you can still like lose a lot of money on there if you don't know what you're doing. So let me see. Yeah. So Facebook ads, after we found that winner, we just started testing more and more products. Like pretty much weekly, we'd test like 2 products, nothing insane. Like I'm not too crazy with testing. I kind of like to be more thorough with each product that I test rather than just, I guess I'm a quality over quantity type of guy, and it has proven to be really worth it with our store. Like really, and I think that's kind of one of the biggest issues that dropshippers come across. And like, this is why not everybody is successful right now. Even the people that were successful before with Facebook ads, now they're seeing a lot of failure. I think it's because they have this quantity over quality mentality where they're, that was a funny play on words, I guess, but where they just want to test like 5 products a day, 10 products a day. And that's fine. You will see success doing that too. But I think it's more worthwhile to really spend some time to make a product like super solid, like in terms of product description. Try to spend like a lot of time finding good pictures, like really go out of your way to find pictures that are like awesome. And then really spend that time making sure your product description is amazing. You have all those conversion points in there, and make sure that you have quality reviews. Try to find really good reviews. And then after that, pretty much test the product. And like I said, that takes time. So there's no way that we could test like 5 products a day. honestly, we don't even test a product a day. We test like a product like a week, like a max of 2 products a week, really. And the main reason is because of that. Like we like to be really thorough. One of our tests right now, like I said, has 70 ad sets, and that's because of my partner. I would have never done 70 ad sets on just a test. What I go for is like 20 to 25 ad sets, but he just did 70 because we've seen some sales on it. It definitely has some potential. And that's exactly how we got it to literally 130K a month. We just found those 2 winners, scaled them through the moon or to the moon. And yeah, it was really awesome. It was actually, it's been an awesome process. And that's why I want to share with this with you guys, because like I said, I want to make my money mostly from drop shipping and my businesses. I don't care about a course. I will probably in the very distant future make a course just so that I don't, because I predict that I'll have a following, like a bigger following. So I won't be able to do like one-on-ones or like, I don't know. I'll never sell my soul to a course or whatever like other people would, but I want to make most of my money obviously from drop shipping. I don't care about a course. It's not even in like my plans right now. So like you don't have to worry about that. And that's kind of why I'm like, some people were in the, like earlier today, were in my comments saying like, these are probably fake numbers. Like this guy's probably just trying to get you to follow him. And the thing is, I made a video about it literally like a little bit after that, just to kind of address that. I just really went in and showed some of my numbers like in depth. So you see pretty much what's going on, so that I'm not lying. But anyways, and the reason why it didn't bother me, obviously, like I totally understand. I wasn't even salty at all because I've felt that way about other people too. I'm like, man, like this guy's clearly faking his numbers. Like there's just no way. Like this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. So like that sucks. And I totally understand that feeling, like I totally get that 100%. So I'm not salty that somebody thought that about me because, it could happen. I could have been faking my numbers, I guess, but obviously I'm not faking my numbers. And that's why I made the video. I like really wanted to show you that I'm not like, there's nothing that I would have to gain from faking numbers. So please don't think that. And if you do think that, well, hopefully the video that I made will change your mind. But don't worry, I'm not trying to scam you in any way. I'm just literally trying to grow my businesses and putting it out here because it will also, I want to give value, and it will also grow my following on this at the same time, So it's a win-win situation for everybody, right? Okay, sorry, rant over. Chris Conradi. No, I've never heard of him. How did I learn to master Facebook ads? Through trial and error. The best way to learn is by doing. And, it's kind of something I live by nowadays. How much did I pay Richard for FB ads mentorship? I mean, you can just message me on Instagram and I guess I'll tell you. Maybe he has different rates for people though, so I don't want to like screw him up in any way. Are you thinking of making a new store for the summer? No, I'm not, but I am building out Trend Cove, which is I call it my YouTube store, because I want to build that store so that you guys can see me build a store, and that one's more of a summery outdoors store. So I guess you could say I am. How hard is it to continue to go to school after last month? Pretty difficult, very difficult actually. But honestly, I don't know. I kind of got my school down. Like I don't know. I don't want to sound cocky. I'm not like the great, like smartest kid of all time or anything. But I've always been like decent at school. Like, and I'm going for economics and business administration. What I think I am gonna do, guys, and this is just me talking, like me just being personal, I guess, just getting personal with you. I think I'm going to drop one of my majors. I think I'm not going to double major, and I'm only going to major on one because there's just no way I'm going to have the time next year to double major. There's just no way. So I'm just going to do one major. Obviously, like I'm not even going to use it. So that's why I just made that decision, but I'm not sure which major yet to keep, like economics or business administration. I'm just kind of weighing both out because I'm not going to use either. So I'm just trying to think like which one would benefit me the most. And I think I'm kind of leaning towards business administration. Hey, bro, I've got a pretty cooked pixel, over 150 sales, thousands of visits, etc. Advice for first timer on FB ads looking to scale the product. Okay, perfect. So when you got that type of data, so this is the thing. I didn't do this when I first moved into Facebook from Instagram, but this is what I would do now. Okay, this is what I would do now. I would create retargeting audiences for all the people that viewed my content and that added to cart. So the add to cart is going to be probably like 1,000 people. The views is going to be like 2,000 people, 3,000, 4,000. I don't know. It's going to be a lot though. And then, so retarget those people. So those are the people that already viewed your content and whatnot. So that's likely to convert. And then also make lookalike audiences for your views for every winning country. So wherever most of your sales came from, make lookalike audiences for views for those countries separately, and then one lookalike audience with all those countries in one. That's kind of my strategy. And then also make them for abandoned carts. You have 150 sales tracked, so you could make a lookalike audience for purchase too. Make sure you try it out. But it might not. I don't know. Just try it out, I guess. How big are your audiences when testing, and do you always have engaged shoppers? So audience size is something that I don't prioritize. Like I don't have like a criteria when it comes to audience size. I kind of just pick something. I mean, I do pick worldwide nowadays, so they are very big. Usually they're almost always like over 2 million. Not every time though, but I do kind of like, my sweet spot has always been like 1 million to 7 million. And yes, I do always like narrow down by engaged shoppers. I do test some naked interest, and that's what we call them, just like naked interest, when it's just one interest. But mostly, like probably 90% of the time, I narrowed or flex down to engaged shoppers for sure. Let me see. What happens if dropshipping dies? I guess I'd just start like I'd probably, if like everything just died right now, I would just start like a white label brand. I would just start like importing in bulk, I guess, and pretty much making a store for it. And yeah, how old am I? I'm 21. I know I look kind of young. I know I look really young, but I'm 21. I mean, 21 is not old, but I'm just saying. When creating LLAs for VC, do you optimize for VC? No, I optimize for purchases pretty much every time. I heard engaged shoppers doesn't work and just eats up your budget. I have heard people talk about how targeting behaviors will increase your cost per purchase, but I think the best way to mitigate that is by targeting worldwide, where you're going to see very cheap costs pretty much across the whole dashboard. So I still target engaged shoppers. I haven't really seen any like really difference with that. So I'm still doing it. Do you always test conversion with purchase objective when testing? Yes. When testing, I always do purchase objective. Now, like later on down the line, I will test other objectives such as add to carts or initiated checkouts, but I always start with purchase objective. How have slideshows helped you, and do they convert well? Do you add words on the pic to get the message across? So honestly, nowadays, I don't do slideshows, but my first Instagram shout out that was like wildly profitable was a slideshow. Like that's how I started with video ads. If you don't have the means to make like a really good video, just make a slideshow video. And yes, I do put words in each picture. I talk about the benefits of the product, the features of the product, and why they need it, dope. I'm 18. I will buy. Nice. Which country do you get most orders from? Well, honestly, it ends up being mostly the big five, UK, Canada, US, Australia, New Zealand. Not really New Zealand that much, but then I also have some weird ones such as like, let me see. I'm trying to think. I know I get a lot of orders from Germany and also a lot of orders from like Ireland, but I mean, that's pretty much the UK, I guess you could say. Lulz, ignoring my question. What's your Facebook ad sets that you consider a winner for a product on PPE? Sorry, I missed your question. For a winning product, I mean, off of a PPE ad, you're not going to know if it's a winning product. I mean, you're not going to know for a long time. Even with website conversions, you don't know. But if you're getting a lot of purchases, that has some good potential. So I would just transfer that into a website conversion audience, or website conversion ad, and test a lot of different ad sets. And then this is another thing. You could, if you've been running that PPE ad for a while, you can make custom audiences for the people who viewed the video or whatever. I mean, it has to be a video for you to be able to make a custom audience for video views. but then you can make those, video views and retarget those people in an ad set. It will work very well. In the testing phase, you don't use PPE, just go directly to purchase. Yes, I did make a video in the past of a PPE strategy that I was testing at the time, and it was working well, but it doesn't, I just prefer to go to website conversion nowadays. But I just learned, guys, like literally last week, I learned of a new strategy that I haven't thought about and I hadn't tested in the past. So I'm going to be testing that, and it includes PPE ads. And what the strategy is, guys, is you make a PPE ad or reach ad, but I'm probably going to do PPE. And then I'm just going to, obviously if I get purchases, great. If I get link clicks, great. But mainly I'm just focused on the video views. I want to get a lot of video views so then I can make a website conversion ad after and retarget those video views. And I think it's going to work great. So doo-doo Mike. Oh my God. Has my sound been really bad this whole time? Oh my God. I really hope not. Okay, let's see. How do you go by finding interest for your audiences? Well, typically I'll either Google. On Dropship Spy, typically it gives you like a whole list of things. So I get a little bit of inspiration from there, or Google, like I said. That's pretty much it. Or just the suggestions tab. Once you find, once you make or type an interest related to like a niche, it'll pretty much suggest a whole bunch of other things. Can I show you my ads? I can't really screen share on this YouTube live. I don't know how to do it. Oh God, but I don't know how to do it. There might be a way to screen share with this, but this is like a new YouTube feature, I think. Net profit this month. Honestly, I haven't calculated like the exact net profit, but it's actually going to be anywhere. It's going to be from 30,000 to 40,000, mostly probably 40,000, honestly, because I'm underestimating to account for like, obviously, I know that there's going to be a higher profit because of the app quantity breaks. It gives me so much trouble when it comes to calculating like accurate numbers because so many people will order so many things, but then it creates like a random variant for like each time somebody does that. Not a new variant, but like it's kind of hard to explain. You'd have to see it done, but like the app quantity breaks, what it does is that it allows people to purchase more for less price. So it'll pull up a chart and it'll say, get this. If you get one, you'll get it for 25. If you get two, you'll get each for $19.95. If you get three, you'll get each for $14.95. So people will order a lot of it. Okay. Hopefully that answers your question. What if my ads slow down and don't spend my daily budget? That's strange. That only really happens if you have like a weird, maybe if you started your ad at a weird time, even though that doesn't matter too much unless like when you're doing lower budget ads, like $5 a day. But the only other reason that I think that could happen is if it's a manual bidding ad. Oh my God, I'm so behind on questions. Oh wait, am I? I'm sorry. Okay, let's see. Hey man, awesome live session. Thank you. I've scaled a PPE ad to do 20K in sales in 2 months, but I cannot convert to Wishy successfully. Any tips? Maybe convert to website conversion by retargeting instead of trying interest. Even though if you've scaled that to 20K, that's awesome, man. I've never, I don't know. I've just never done that with a PPE ad. So I think that's really cool. But the best way to do it is really to start with the retargeting audiences instead of like interest targeting. I guess because you already have so much data on it that's going to be like guaranteed sales pretty much. Oh yeah, all your sales are from suggested video placement, and website doesn't allow this placement. Well, yeah, that's very true, but I guess you could just try like automatic placement and just maybe seeing where, like for retargeting ads, automatic placement, I try it. I always test it because sometimes the purpose of retargeting is to show be in your customer's face pretty much at all times. So if you do automatic placement, it will show on your ads pretty much everywhere. So that's definitely something to test for retargeting. Okay, so you order the product and make a video out of it. No, I typically never do that. I've only done that like twice. The main reason is because it just takes so much time. I typically like to find the videos and then chop them up and edit them differently, or I will make slideshow videos, but I don't really do that much anymore. Okay, I'll try to just like sprint through these last questions because I do gotta go. I gotta Skype my partner in. Yeah, I gotta Skype my partner pretty much. We're gonna play some video games and do some team bonding. We do. I know it sounds crazy, but we literally do that sometimes because, I mean, it's not actually team bonding, but sometimes you just need to like chill out. And like we've been moving at like 200 miles per hour lately, so we really need to just slow down a little bit. So you ordered, okay, my bad. Can we still make sales if we post a website with purchase option, but we don't have any purchase pixel data? Would it still work? Yes, it still works. It does. Sorry, I would go more in depth into it. I think I've explained it in the past, but I just don't have time right now. I just really want to get through the questions. Okay. Do you use the same ad video pick for retargeting video views for a brand new ad video pick? Or I don't know if you misspelled that, but whatever. Yes, I do use the same video or picture, but only because sometimes I'm lazy. But it probably would work better to use a new one, like a more targeted one, like to let them know that they're being retargeted in a way. Like say, oh, like here's an extra coupon to complete your order, whatever. You know, just get creative, try new things. When running your first ad on Facebook with a new page, do you just do PPE when your page has 0 page likes? Yeah, so that's something that I forgot to make a video about. I'm dumb because I did talk about the Facebook pages and I was going to make a part 2, but I just kind of forgot. I will make it still. But what I do is actually I run a PPE ad for my page to get page likes, only for that purpose. Is it possible to create lookalike audience from US even if my custom audience is from New Zealand? Well, if you've had enough people tracked from the US, then yes. Otherwise, just make it from the make it for New Zealand. You know, it really doesn't matter. Do you create different ad sets for each location groups? Yes, but typically I target worldwide at the beginning. What is your YouTube channel called? I just picked a random show. Oh, my partner's calling me right now. Oh God, I do gotta go. I've been making him wait. I'm sorry. Thanks for joining, guys. Honestly, I really appreciate it. My YouTube channel is Arie Scherson, Shopify. You can just look that up and it'll pop up. I appreciate you guys all joining. Hopefully you got some value. I will be dropping the recording of this in the oh shit. I forgot to answer in my channel. So hopefully you got something out of it. Peace out.